Well, in terms of like relationships, okay, lore. I'm gonna speak some lore about me. Get ready. All right. So in a high school, me and this girl, we met in our second hour class. Yeah, I am a bitch magnet. So lore drop incoming. Grab your popcorn. So in high school, me and this girl, we first met in our second hour class. It was world history. At first, we didn't go to the same middle school because this was freshman year, so we didn't really know each other. But we were often assigned partners because we were shoulder partners, and the teacher organized projects that we only worked with shoulder partners. So we often were doing stuff together. So we were like, at first we introduced each other and we kind of got to know each other in terms of like students wise, like, oh, like, do you understand what we're doing? How are you as a student? Like, are you a pretty chill person? And then she also was in my biology class, which is 6th hour, or my last class of the day. In that class, we sat next to each other. We sat next to each other. And again, that biology teacher, we did things our table partners. And because it was just me and her and our table, we did pretty much all of our projects together. But for lab, it's really just like experiments with. You don't even pour at anything. You just like do numbers, like rolling dice to simulate stuff. Normally you can do that with yourself, but the teacher was fine if you did it with one partner. And at first we did it individually because we're both really, really smart for high school students. But by like the 5th or 4th week of the semester, we were already pretty familiar and chill with each other, so we decided to do all of our labs together. And then we kind of got to know each other kind of like in a personal level. So we pretty much became friends about like a month and a half in the first semester. And at that point, we were pretty good friends. Your typical friends, knowing each other, saying hi, doing stuff together. And eventually throughout the semester, as it progressed, we got to know each other more on a personal level. And things began to kindle. By the end, it was around the end of April of freshman year, and we were already really good friends. Like, I already went to her house one time just to, hang out with her. I wanted to bring her over to my house. Yeah. Okay, so shoulder partners. So, like, you're at a table. Sometimes there's 2 seats. So, like, okay, so this is your table. You have your 2 seats. If I'm sitting here, this would be my shoulder partner. If I'm sitting here, this would be my shoulder partner. And labs in a high school, you're not even really like, in college, when you think of lab, you're like, titrations, you're adding things, you're doing plasmid isolations, these very complex things. But in high school, you're just doing super, super simple stuff. You're not adding or taking away anything, you're just simulating things. Semester, high school, we had first semester from like August to December, then second semester, January to May. Yeah, I did plasmid isolation yesterday. It was super complicated. My concentration was a little bit off, but my 260-230 ratios and all of that was good, so I was fine with that. But anyway, back to the whole thing. In late April, we were doing a project together, and then she took out her pencil case, and in it was like a little piece of paper. It was like an index card or something. And she gave it to me, and she basically told me that if I want it, I can go over to her house for her birthday next month, because her birthday was like the end of May. And she basically gave me her address again, her phone number, and I pretty much said, sure, I'll go, because I've never had that offered to me. So I decided to go, and I met her family, I met her siblings, I met her friends. They're all really, really chill people. Yeah, I pretty much got to know her really well, and then throughout the summer, we were constantly talking to each other on Snapchat and Instagram. But it was sophomore year where we really started to get like really close to each other. We never did anything intimate. No like smooching or hugging and none of that. We didn't even hold hands. None of that. But in sophomore year, we were both in the club was called Mathletes, like athletes but with an M. Yeah, pretty much BFFs. Basically in Mathletes, what we do is that we're all like really good at math. We go to different schools in like our conference area, which is like the suburbs of Chicago, because that's where I'm from. And we would compete with other schools and answer like these really complicated math problems. We always lost, but we had a lot of fun. I convinced her to... No, like, it was actually, like, super, super complicated stuff that I'm surprised I was even able to understand. Like, I was doing calculus problems, like, pre-calculus problems as a sophomore. Like, what the fuck? And I convinced her to join, and she liked it. I liked it, too, because I was already in it freshman year, but she wasn't in it. I convinced her to join sophomore year. And during sophomore year, we were getting really, really close with each other. We would always, our first class was at like 7 a.m. as part of like this preschool not like preschool as in like pre-K, but like before the first hour started, there was like this program where you could take a class before school really began. We both did that. So our first class began like around 7 a.m. But we would always be in school like around 6:30. And we would wait in the cafeteria before we would go off to our class. Freshman year, we did that both as well, but we sat at like completely different sides of the cafeteria. But in sophomore year, we sat at the same table facing each other, so that I'd be looking at her and she'd be looking at me. So then, we would always be talking to each other, having fun. And there would be times where, like, understandably, I'd be tired, I'd be laying my head on the table. And there were times where she would start messing with my hair. I thought it was funny, and I was like, all right, fine, do whatever you want, because my hair is always a mess. Like it's a mess now. I never really like to organize it, and it's obvious that it's a disaster. I was fine with it. Yeah, again, we started to do more things together outside of school. Her favorite sport is bowling, so there were times where she would take me bowling with her. And then my favorite sport is tennis, so there'd be times where I would return the favor and do like some tennis things with her. Trying to be nice. But now it's a little bit more than just a friendship. There's now like something in the air. In GTA 4, I have no idea. I've never played GTA. I will say, for my 14th birthday, this was like around the time Fortnite was super popular. I went over to her house and played Fortnite on her computer, and she watched me, along with her siblings, because me and her siblings were really, really fun. Let's go bowling. I'm assuming that's part of GTA. And yeah, sophomore year, people were starting to notice, people meaning like my friends and her friends, were starting to notice that me and her were getting a little bit close to each other in terms of like, friendship. And, me being me, I was like, no, we're not dating. But someone asked me that during my European history class. I sat at one table on one side of the room. She sat on the opposite side. And we both knew that. Someone in my table asked me if I liked her. I said no, but I immediately started blushing and I got super, super red. And I was like, oh shit, it's fucking over. Thankfully she didn't hear that because she was on the other side of the room. But yeah, I got super, super red. I still remember that. Yeah. We were getting really, really close, but then COVID came in. and and we normally like to talk in person because we can see each other, but it's a bit different talking through a screen. And so during COVID and the lockdown, we continued talking on Snapchat and Instagram, but our communication slowly declined. But it was either during the summer of between sophomore and junior year, or during the beginning of my third year. She told me on Instagram that, like in a very, very long message, that she's been having feelings for me, she's liking me, but she was always afraid to tell me that. So basically giving me a golden opportunity to say, hey, I want to start a relationship. And me being a fucking idiot, I didn't even respond to that message. I left her on read, and I started talking about something else. Hello, what was I thinking? She basically said, let's start a relationship. I'm being a dumbass, ignored that, and moved on to something else. So, I basically threw away that opportunity. No, we've been talking to each other ever since freshman year. She has a different boyfriend now. The thing is, thankfully she trusts me telling her about how she's doing, how her and her boyfriend are doing, but she hasn't told me how her and her boyfriend are doing in like several months. So that leads me to believe that either we're basically best friends. We're still best friends. I still have feelings for her. I still like her. But again, if I meet someone that I believe that, would be better for me, and if she believes that she's better with me, then I'll go with her. But yeah, for right now, that's the situation I'm in. I did meet her boyfriend. He's really short. They're both really short. I'm 6'1", or 185 centimeters, and she's like 5'2". Yeah, pretty much. Look, I'm 185 centimeters. I don't know how tall you are. I don't know if that's short. For me, that's tall in American units. You're 5'8". Ha, shorty. Never mind, I'm fine. She's like 5'2". Her boyfriend is like 5'4". Or so Tinder says. Yeah. Her boyfriend, she met her boyfriend at her university. We don't go to the same university. I'm in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. She's in Chicago. She met her boyfriend at her same university, but then last semester, or like spring, like last semester pretty much, at uni, he transferred to a different school to study computer science. So now they're in like this long distance relationship, whatever it's called. I don't know why Nightbot is like banning your words. Yeah. I'm like, the only reason why the town I'm in is so it only has 50,000 people, and the only reason why it has 50,000 people is because it's a college town. If there was no college here, it'd have like 300 people. That's the truth. So yeah, I'm assuming they're still together. She's in a long distance relationship with him. I want to ask her how she's doing with him, but I don't want to come off as like trying to indicate that I want her to break up with him, because I don't want her to, like, if she's happy with him, then I'm happy for her. I want to support her. I'm just trying to be like a nice person, like, being there for her whenever she needs somebody, because now he lives way down south, almost near where I am at from my apartment. He's like a couple minutes, like an hour southeast of me. I'm just trying to be like a good person. Her family really likes me, which again, I'm really cool with, because her family is super chill, they're funny. Yeah. I'm just happy that I met her. Like, she's a really genuinely nice person. I'm just upset that I like threw away If I said that, our friendship would be over. Because first off, I never call her babe. I call her by her actual name. How's it going? I sometimes say like, ask like, how you're doing, how's school or how's college, whatever. Yeah, I do cherish the friendship. Yeah, we've been really good friends for so many years. Assuming that I have like a lot of, because I know for graduation you get like tickets that you can give to people, mostly your family members, understandably. I'm probably gonna, if I have extra, I'm probably gonna give her one because I just want her to see me get my degree, because I probably won't be able to see her get her degree because I'll still be, in college by the time she graduates. But by the time I'm done, she'll be done. So that means she'll have a higher likelihood of being able to see me get my degree. But yeah, that's my lore. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I need some water. But yeah. Yeah, that's my lore job. So that's why technically I have been in a relationship, but probably, I guess more so speaking, I haven't. But yeah, that's my little lore drop with her.